Welcome back to Radio Shack. I know everyone's talking the Defenders. I'm about halfway through, but we're here to talk about Spider-Man. Now, Marvel Spider-Man just debuted with 2 new episodes on Disney XD, and I gotta be honest, I gotta say, I'm interested. I'm intrigued. Now, to get into it, the animation definitely is different. It seems kind of flat. It doesn't have that cinematic feel like Avengers Assemble and Ultimate Spider-Man, but it's gonna take a minute to get used to that. But this series definitely seems like it's gonna have the balance of being Peter Parker and Spider-Man. Definitely have a reminiscence of Spectacular Spider-Man. And speaking of Spectacular Spider-Man, the villain of the first episode is the Vulture, just like in Spectacular Spider-Man. But it does also make sense because your villain in Spider-Man Homecoming was the Vulture, so kids will recognize that and want to watch this. But don't expect that much weight to the Vulture. He's kind of just there just to be there. There's no real reason to why he's doing things. Same thing with Scorpion in episode 2, kind of just thrown there just to be a villain, you know. And I didn't really like that. I really hope that we get to revisit these villains and actually have them do something for a reason, you know, and not just be a villain. But also, I love the science that they're incorporating into this show. They're definitely showing how smart Peter Parker is. I love this little moment where he's actually trying to figure out how much pressure he should use in his web shooters in certain moments, and it definitely shows how smart Peter Parker really is. And him being Spider-Man, this is his debut fight, in his first fight, and you know, he kind of messes up a little bit, but he's on the road to become the Spider-Man we know and love. And speaking of being Spider-Man, you can see the effect it is having on Peter Parker, because he made a promise to a student to help out with something, and he ran late because he was out doing Spider-Man stuff. And I really like that, and definitely has the high school feel. Now, these episodes are about Horizon High, and it's a school for geniuses. And one of the geniuses that goes there is Peter Parker's best friend, Harry Osborn. And I really like Harry in this series so far. And I definitely love the chemistry between Harry and Peter. You definitely see the bond there. And unfortunately, Harry gets suspended from Horizon High, and Peter gets accepted. I mean, no thanks to Mr. Spencer Smythe, the father of Alistair Smythe. And you definitely tell the Smythes and the Osborns don't like each other, especially the way Mr. Smythe treats Harry. But it does seem like the Smythes are going to be the antagonists of this arc, which I'm definitely interested to see how that goes. And going to Horizon High, we're introduced into a couple new characters, Anya and Miles Morales. I don't like that we're introducing Miles Morales already. I think it's way too early. It's something we could have dealt with down the road. But, you know, that's something Ultimate Spider-Man kind of dealt with very well. But we also get introduced into Dr. Otto Octavius, who is voiced by Scott Menville. Now, look, I like Scott. I really like Scott as a voiceover actor, and I love him as Robin in Teen Titans. But it just didn't seem like a fit for me here. But moving on, I do like that Peter takes advantage of being at Horizon High and decides to improve on his costume. Because, you know, his old costume, they ran a gag to where it keeps getting destroyed or, you know, cut, burnt, you know, and he didn't really wash it, which I don't understand what the problem with that was. But I love that he takes advantage and improves his costume, kind of improving on the web shooters and using these goggles to give himself night vision and able to focus on certain things, which I thought that was really cool. You know, it's something different than just having the suit just given to him, like in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's actually showing that Peter Parker is really smart and able to do that on his own. But also being at Horizon High is very expensive to go there, and it's actually bringing weight to Peter Parker's life and on Aunt May, because it's expensive and she can't really pay for Peter to go to school without Uncle Ben. And speaking of Uncle Ben, they really kind of like skipped over that in the origin story and just like kind of skimmed over it. I know a lot of people were a little upset about that, but we do see him in a couple of flashbacks where he's teaching Peter a lesson, and it really does seem like it's going to be a thing where Peter flashbacks to certain lessons, and it will help him get out of a sticky situation. See what I did there? But I really like that. It's something new, something different, And one last thing, we see that Harry asks Peter to gather some of his projects that he had at Horizon, because he doesn't want anybody to see that yet. And one of them seems to be this ball that he claims is not a bomb, but Spider-Man is able to use that to destroy the Spider Slayer. Yes, Spider Slayers exist in this series, but it does look like a prototype for a pumpkin bomb. So does this mean that Harry can go down the road of becoming the Green Goblin? I mean, he already doesn't like Spider-Man, so could this happen? I mean, we do get a couple mentions of Norman Osborn, but I don't know how much influence he's going to have on this series. So who knows? I think that'll be actually pretty cool. A nice story between Harry and Peter. And not only that, Anya created this gauntlet that looks awfully lot like the Shocker gauntlet. So it looks like a lot of the tech that the villains have are coming from Horizon High, which was mentioned by the Vulture, who built his suit there. So I think that would be nice to see. But like I said, I'm very interested. I'm really interested to see where this goes with the Smice. You know, it has a lot of the Spectacular Spider-Man feel and the Tobey Maguire, Sam Raimi Spider-Man films. And I don't know if that's on purpose, but it does actually, I actually like it. But what did you think of the first 2 episodes? Comment below. Let's get a conversation going. And as always, if you enjoyed my thoughts, make sure you like, subscribe. Last video, leave a description down below. And until my next video, I will see you later.